Child abuse is no longer a new phenomenon. In fact, it happens all over the world. The sudden increase in child abuse cases has caused concern among the public, especially parents, because there are cases of child abuse causing serious injuries, disability, and even death. The WHO defines child abuse as all forms of abuse, whether physical, emotional, sexual, neglect, exploitation, that may cause injury or damage to the health, life, and the development or a glory of child thus responsible, trust, or authority over the child. Sometimes we need to differentiate between abuse and parental rights to child discipline. Parents have the right to discipline their child as long as it is done in a reasonable and modest manner and is not cruel. There are three types of child abuse. The first being physical. Physical abuse occurs when a child is intentionally or unintentionally injured by a parent or a guardian. Examples of physical abuse are kicking, punching, choking, hitting. Meanwhile, injuries that are often associated with physical abuse are bruises, scratches, brain injuries, bleeding, fractures, and some cases involving death. The second is sexually. Sexual abuse is the involvement of children in sexual activity that is not fully understood what is being done. Examples of being abused include child sexual abuse, rape, genital exposure, child prostitution, and child pornography. Other actions such as holding, kissing, rubbing a child's private parts, and abnormal sexual behavior also belong to sexual abuse. The third is emotion. Emotional abuse is psychological trauma that attacks the mind and the protective layers so that the mind is disturbed for a short or a long period of time according to the level of traumatic situation. It may be failure to meet a child's needs for affection, attention, and stimulation, although good physical care may be provided, or it may be verbal abuse, rejection, and constant threats to harm the child. It may also refer to the negative behavior of parents or the guardians towards the child under their care. And the last one is neglect. Child neglect is when a parent or guardian does not provide the care, supervision, love, support necessary for the health, safety, and well-being of the child. Child neglect is divided into four types, namely physical neglect, inadequate supervision, emotional neglect, medical neglect, and also, for the plus, educational neglect. Child abuse can occur in any family or school. It is difficult for children to reveal that they are being abused. Here are some signs that the children is being abused. Children isolate themselves from friends and normal activities, easily become angry, aggressive, or hostile, show poor performance in school, show signs of depression or unusual fear, lost confidence, frequent absence from school or social activities, frequent rebellion or fondness cheating, attempting suicide, and so on. It should also be noted that symptoms of abused children can also be seen through four symptoms depending on the types of abuse they are experiencing, namely physical, sexual, emotional, and neglect. Therefore, it is very important to be equally concerned and sensitive to the issue of child abuse because they are hope of the nation, religion, and even a country. Even if we are not their family, as a neighbors, friends of the victims, or teachers and the whole local community need to know, and most importantly, act wisely and swiftly to protect the victims of abuse so that they know they are safe and protected.
Explain about the statistic in Malaysia for child abuse. So the statistics show that the number of cases of child abuse in Malaysia is increasing from year to year. Increased by 179 cases from 4,190 cases in 2013 to 4,295 cases in 2014. So the cases of abuse continue increase in 2015 with a record 4,453 cases. So while in 2016 there was a sharp increase of 529 cases with an increase with an increase of 4,982 cases. So in 2017, the number of cases increased by 555 cases, in which 5,537 cases were reported during the year. So this also makes the total number of cases in the year that is the highest number of cases recorded. So all these cases include the case of the abuse from various categories, namely like physical, emotional, sexual abuse, as well as neglect of all aspects from 2013 to 2017. So this increase indicates that cases of abuse that occur in Malaysia are increasing and need to be addressed immediately. So studies also show that also show that the girls are the most common victims of sexual abuse crimes against boys. But however, for other cases of abuse, the range of difference between girls and the boys is not much difference. Okay, so that's all for statistics.
Step to prevent child abuse in Malaysia. First, discipline your child wisely. Never discipline your child while you are frustrated. Give yourself time to calm down. Remember that discipline is a way to teach your child. Use the privilege to encourage good behavior and break time to help your child get back in control. Second, educate yourself and others. Moderate support for children and parents can be the best way to prevent child abuse. Post-school activities, parent education classes, guardians programs, and temporary care are some of the ways to keep children safe. Be the voice to support this effort in your community. And third one is teach your children their rights. When children are taught they are special and entitled to safety, they tend to think abuse is their fault and more likely to report the perpetrator. Thank you.
Okay, I will continue two more steps to prevent our child abuse. The step is talk to the kids about the safe touch in terms of the sexual abuse. We need to teach our kids about the safe touch. We as a parents use a doll to teach them what the body part that is safe and not safe to be touched by other people's. But even if somebody is not directly touching them in places that they shouldn't be, if your child is uncomfortable in any way, teach them to speak up. And if the tactic doesn't work, report the incident to an adult that they can trust in. The last point here is observe the child behavior. Body language speaks 1,000 words, and it is far more telling than the spoken words. If your child seems to be stressed, looks sad, scared, and doesn't not want to have eye contact with certain people, take note. Try to discover the matters with the child themselves in a positive and non-accusing ways. Make them feel and make sure that they are safe when they confide in you. As a conclusion, child abuse is a serious matter with recent cases that involve grievous injury or even the death of a child, whether in the hand of nanny or their own family. We need to step up our efforts in preventing these situations. Children are our future. Provide a safe environment for them to grow up in and making in this world a better place.
Kanak-kanak berhak untuk dilindungi dan disayangi. Namun, setiap tahun dilaporkan sekurang-kurangnya 2,000 kanak-kanak di Malaysia menjadi mangsa penderaan sama ada secara fizikal, mental maupun seksual. Jangan berdiam diri. Hentikan penderaan kanak-kanak sekarang. Anda mampu membantu mereka. Hubungi talian kasih 15999.
Say no to child abuse.
Katakan tidak kepada penderaan kanak-kanak.
Sayangilah anakmu seperti intan permata.
Say no to child abuse.
Say no to child abuse.
Sayangilah anak anda kerana anak anda adalah masa hadapan anda dan juga masa hadapan negara.
Katakan tidak kepada penderaan kanak-kanak.
Anak ialah pemberi rezeki dan jangan sekali sakiti dan abaikan dia.
Say no to child abuse.
Sayangilah anak anda kerana mereka adalah masa hadapan anda.
Say no to child abuse.